What's up, everybody? It's Jojo Alonzo from 105.3 The Beat. Right now, I'm in the Atlanta Dunkin Lounge, and I have Earn Your Leisure podcast in the building with me today. How are y'all doing?
How you doing?
Hey,
How's it going?
I'm pretty well. Thanks for asking. I had a rough little morning, but it's okay. Y'all got kids?
Yeah. Yes.
I got
So
two.
that's what you had to say.
so
We
I had to
definitely
run.
understand.
I got a flight to catch. So you got to get everything ready at once.
But we
So
made it
good.
here.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that y'all used to getting up this early though,
Yeah,
because
for sure.
the early bird gets the worm, right?
That's
That's
a
what they
fact.
say.
That's what they say.
Rise and grind.
Rise and grind. Okay, they say that too. But so let's introduce yourselves to everyone who may not be familiar for who you are. We can start here.
I'm Rashad from Earn Your Leisure.
Troy, co-founder of Earn Your Leisure.
Matthew, MG, co-founder of InvestFest.
And Michael J. McDonald, co-founder of Earn Your Leisure.
Okay. So you guys have a lot going on. But let's get into InvestFest. And how that came about. And you are the co-founder.
We're all co-founders.
of InvestFest.
Correct.
Ooh, okay. How we get into this? How do we start this? Where'd this come about?
A 2 in the morning text from Rashad.
I bet.
He said he had an idea.
Ain't no sleep. We talking about how early you get up. He like, no, we don't sleep.
Yeah, for sure. So, just looking at the landscape, we got inspired by a few of our other friends that were doing conventions and events, and just felt like, there's a lot of festivals when it comes to music, right? Like Rolling Loud just happened. I think it's currently happening the second week right now. Coachella is big. You got the Roots Picnic. You got Broccoli City. There's a lot of music festivals, and now there's even like food festivals. That's become a big thing.
Right.
Film festivals, and there's a lot of business conferences, symposium conferences. When you think of business, that's what you usually think of. But I had never heard of a business festival,
Right. Me
right?
either.
Where you combine the best feels of a festival, but do it in what we do as far as financial literacy, education, investing, entrepreneurship. So our whole mold has always been to blend pop culture with business. That's been like our original thesis from the beginning. So I was just thinking, and I'm like, okay, let's do a big event, but how can we do something that's going to be different? Because we always try to do things that's different, never want to do things that's copying anybody.
Right.
That's something that I'm completely against. So festival, it was just like, okay, like let's have a business festival. And so I told them that, I thought that it was a good idea. And originally I had to kind of explain it, like, especially Troy, like I got to explain things. Like sometimes like it's not always like a green light. So he festivals usually are outside.
Right.
But I looked it up in the dictionary. A festival doesn't have to be outside, right? And that's difficult for us to do something like this outside because of the elements. You don't want to plan for 20,000 people to hear somebody speak and then it starts raining.
Right.
Like if music, you could bear it through, but nobody's going to hear somebody talking for 45 minutes in the rain. So we had to do it in a controlled environment. But it's like, okay, if we're going to do it inside, how is it a festival and how is it not a conference? So we took elements from festivals like food trucks, like performances, a vendor marketplace, like looking at Essence Fest. And we combined all of these different elements that are traditional to outside festivals and put it inside of a building and combined it with high-powered speakers, education, and InvestFest was birth.
Yeah. Okay, so when are the dates of InvestFest for this? Is in August
Yeah, so this year it's August 23rd through the 25th
here in Atlanta.
here in Atlanta.
Yeah,
so
I just wanted to say that so everybody knows it's here in Atlanta. You guys had one last year, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so this is the fourth rendition of it. So every year it's been in Atlanta just because what Atlanta means to, our community, our culture. It's the epicenter of entrepreneurship, black business, and people that are thriving, especially the demographic that we talk to, 25 to 45.
Right.
So when we were thinking of cities, obviously we all from New York, and it's a great city to be in. But Atlanta just is so vibrant with fresh ideas and people that are, really trying to push forward entrepreneurship, business, and investing. So it made for a perfect home.
So I heard about InvestFest last year, and I had to go out of town for something. I can't remember what it was, but I was pissed off that I wasn't able to go. I promise you I was. I'm like, because I haven't heard of it, and I'm like, InvestFest, like what? You know how much money finna be here, or how much I can learn how to make some bread? I gotta go to
The,
this.
the rumors were true.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a couple billion in the building, definitely.
And it was a great turnout. And so I'm gonna be there this year. Y'all gonna make sure I'm in there?
Absolutely.
You have to. You have
I need the
to.
VIP treatment. Y'all give me the
That's
VIP
easy.
treatment.
Too
that's,
easy.
that's,
Too
that's
easy.
the minimum.
Okay, thank you. So how important is our culture? How important is it for our culture to know about like financial literacy?
It's the most important thing in life, right?
Mhm.
So for us, most of us didn't grow up in households that taught us financial
Right.
literacy, right? Credit, I mean, simple things to buy a home, checking, savings, and it's not taught in school. So for us, we all come from financial literacy backgrounds. Shaw was a financial planner. I'm in the mortgage business. Troy's an educator. So for us, we're just thrilled that people are just, we have the attention and people are listening to what we have to say, and it's helping thousands of people execute on whatever it is, right? Whether they want to open up a business, invest in the stock market, crypto, real estate. So it's very important that this generation coming up, they have the tools to equip themselves to be able to scale and build wealth in their lives.
Yeah, because I can honestly say I know I want to like own something, or I want to start something. I don't know what it is, and I don't even know where to start. And I know I'm not the only person that feels that way. So the fact that you guys are actually helping us, it's a really good thing, because it's difficult. I really don't like we really don't know like which avenue to go down. So I want to ask, like, what has been the most difficult part about putting InvestFest together financially?
Whew. I mean, the beautiful thing about us is that everything we've done has been grassroots, and so we've self-funded our entire company.
Okay.
And so when it came to InvestFest, yeah, it would be great to have partners, but there's nothing like doing it yourself. You get to see all of the aspects of actually putting something of this scale together. So each year, that's always been a challenge, finding the right partner to be a part of the event. It's something that we've been working on very, very intentionally this year. So that's a challenge, making sure that we curate the right environment. We want to make sure that people come to the event, but they leave with something that's more important, right? Like, we can be there in this weekend and have fellowship amongst people with like minds, but what happens when we leave?
Yeah.
And what are the actions that are being taken? So we're making a concerted effort again this year to make sure that education is at the forefront of it. So having the right people in the building is important, and making sure that safety is paramount. And that's something that, it gets overlooked every year, but it's something that we take very much pride in, that everybody comes and with like-minded and leaves and has a great time. So, those are some of the challenges. I let the guys fill in if they have any more.
What can we expect at InvestFest? Like, who's speaking? Who's hosting?
We haven't announced the lineup yet. We will be shortly. But I will say this, as far as what you can expect is hands-on education. Even this year, we're going to go even more on the education as far as presentations, and definitely you can expect to have a lot of information, a lot of influence on what's going on in the world right now as far as artificial intelligence. Vitally important. I feel like, it's changing the world rapidly as we speak. So it's our jobs to communicate that, to educate the people, and then also incorporate that as far as technology. You're definitely going to see a heavy tech imprint on InvestFest this year for sure. I mean, the big names have always been there, so you can probably assume that there's going to be some big names again this year, some billionaires again this year, but also give back. Like, we're going to have different initiatives where local entrepreneurs will benefit. We'll have opportunities for people to actually receive some level of monetary support for their business probably. So it's going to be a little different than years past. We always have to add things to it, but those are a few things that you should definitely be looking forward to in 2024 InvestFest.
Okay, so I'm sitting up here, I'm looking at you guys, and I see black men, minority. And so how long, I'm going to ask this question first. How long have you guys been doing, like, in the financial literacy space? Has it always been a thing? Did you go to school?
I've been in the mortgage business for 21 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, I know I don't look it. Right? Black don't crack.
And don't.
Right? So for me, this has been my life for basically 21 years. And with the power of the internet, you know, the power of our phones, right? This is probably the most powerful tool that we all have that we've ever seen in our lives. And, you know, no one, like I said earlier, no one teaches you how to buy a house, you know, something that should be simple
Right.
and we should learn. And now I'm just thankful to be able to have this opportunity, have these platforms to be able to teach our people how to buy homes, but not only just buy them homes, sustain home ownership and to invest in real estate. So I've been doing it for 21 years.
I was a financial advisor for 12 years and then doing this for 5 years. So 17 years for me as far as in some form or fashion as far as teaching people about finance.
Yeah, and I'll start by saying that before this business, before there was financial education, it was brotherhood. And so I've known these gentlemen, especially obviously Mike and Rashad, we grew up together. So I've known them for over 25 years. Mike, I've probably known since I was 5 years old. And so that's the root of it first. But I've been in education for over, scary, like you said, 21 years. I've probably been in education for 20 years and started teaching about financial education probably, you say like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So together we were teaching financial education in the summer program. And then we started Earn Your Leisure 5 years ago. So it's been our education, financial advising, financial education. It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
I'm in the media space, so
Okay.
I'm pretty new to finance. So I've retained all the information that we've learned. I was also a fan too, and I brought my first house off of the information I learned off of what we've been teaching. So it's been an amazing experience for me just learning finance.
You're welcome.
Okay. What? So when you said media, in what aspect?
Photography, web development.
Okay.
You know, I do a lot of the back end stuff like the websites and stuff like that and marketing. That's the stuff I've been doing for over 20 years.
Is that considered media?
Yeah, all that's
Is it?
digital media,
Oh, okay.
digital assets.
Don't say it, cause that's digital assets. Yeah, cause when I think of media, I think of like a host or something like that.
It's a type
It's
of media,
way
a form of
deeper
media.
than that. Okay. I have another question. What advice would you give to someone struggling with debt or financial literacy?
Educate yourself. I think a lot of times people, well, first of all, you got to have discipline. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you're not disciplined, you're going to end up going broke regardless, and you're going to spend more money than you actually have coming in. And that happens time and time again. So there's no sympathy for anybody. Unfortunately, the world doesn't have sympathy for somebody that can't pay their bills. So it's up to you to actually figure things out for yourself, right? And that comes with knowing that if you spend more money than you have coming in, then that's a recipe for disaster, right? That's a recipe to get into debt. So the first part of it is to have self-discipline, delayed gratification, and not wanting to impress other people, right? Worry about yourself first. Because we could talk about financial literacy, we could talk about investing, we could talk about ways to, navigate the credit system, but it's like you gotta start with the foundation when you're building a home.
Yeah.
And that's something that's not sexy. Nobody really wants to talk about that, right? But it's like, it's very important. It's a very important part of, and especially like for our culture, we always want to shine. We want to have the best car. We want to have the best chain. We want to have the best clothes. It's cool to have nice things, but that's why our slogan has always been assets over liabilities. Like liabilities, we're not like extremists, right? We're not to say don't ever go on vacation, don't ever have fun, but it's all about your priorities, right? Assets first. That's the first priority over liability. So for every time that you buy some Balenciagas, make sure that you have 3 times that amount of money invested in the stock market.
Right.
Right? Like it's okay to buy a nice car, but make sure you have a house first. Make sure you invested in real estate. Make sure that you actually are understanding tax laws. So even if you're renting an apartment, maybe you can write it off if it's under your business name as opposed to your personal name, right? So these are all things that I think before anybody thinks about, their financial situation, they have to take a look internally and really have a conversation with themselves, because if not, you're always going to be in trouble no matter how much money you make. And like I said, we see that with a lot of celebrities all the time.
Okay, so before I get to you guys with the same question, I got a follow-up question with you. So say there's someone who ain't got no money. Can they make money? with no money?
You can always make money for sure.
Like business wise?
Yeah, for sure.
And how would someone go about doing that?
Well, I can't say for every single person, but I mean, like for our business, we started a business with really no money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we knew somebody else from our neighborhood who had a microphone, and we used iPhones, and then we started filming content, right? And then we put content on social media and we built traction. And then from there, we was able to actually have enough traction where we can start having ads on a podcast, and then start a YouTube channel, then started selling merch, then started doing live events, and then it's just like a snowball effect from there, right? But I mean, whether you start an Amazon store or drop shipping or whatever, like there's always opportunities to make money. Now, some businesses require some startup money to start, right? So now you have to say, okay, well, if I want to go into a business that requires startup money and I have no money at all, well, then you have to get a job.
Mm.
Like, I think that we have to have just realistic conversations. There's nothing wrong with working a job. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, but sometimes you have to work a job to use that money to start your business, right? Then once again, that goes back to discipline. It's like, all right, you work a 9 to 5, but what are you doing from 6 to 12 o'clock, right? Now from 6 to 12 o'clock, that's your opportunity to be the entrepreneur. Take the money that you're getting from your 9 to 5, and sometimes even the knowledge that you're getting from your 9 to 5, save the money, and now use that over the course of time to start your business. So that would be my recommendation. I don't think anybody should just go out and just become an entrepreneur overnight, because there's a lot of risk. The income goes up and down, and it's extremely stressful. So it's good to have a safety net. It's good to have some steady income coming in while you're on your entrepreneurial journey. So I think that that's something that should be highlighted, because a lot of times people think that it's either or. Mm-hmm. Either I'm an employee or I'm an entrepreneur. It doesn't go like that. Most of the time is you have, especially at the beginning stages, you're doing a combination of both, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Until the point where you feel comfortable and you've made enough money and you have enough security where you can jump out on a ledge and just do it full time yourself.
Yeah, literally that's my story.
Yeah.
So like that is my story, right? I was a teacher for 14 years, and was 7 to 3. And what happened was, obviously we were starting Earn Your Leisure. So when you're talking about having no money to start a business, that would be one. Another example, even with us, is like, especially in this generation of creating content, social media managers, right? Like that's something that is a skill that you actually have to learn, and you can do. It doesn't take money, but it does take time, right? Mm-hmm. And so that's one of the most valuable assets, because it's something we can't get back. But like you said, what happens in between time, right? When you're not working, what are you doing, right? What is your passion? What is your vision? If you don't have that, then that 7 to 3 or that 9 to 5 that you're in, which I always look at as my investor, I always looked at the school district as my first investor, right? What are you doing with that 6 to 12? If you're not doing anything, then the 9 to 5 is what you're gonna be doing permanently. And so you gotta have that vision, that mindset to say, all right, I can do both, but if I don't have a vision and a clear plan of how to get out of this, then I'm gonna be here for a long time. And so having a mindset is number one, but number two is figuring out how you do it, right? So if it's a dollar amount, figure out what that dollar amount is, and figure out how you're going to scale it, right? So if I'm making $5,000 a month, in order for me to now leave as an entrepreneur, in my mind it was like, I need to make double, so I have to make 10,000. So having a vision, having a plan, and then be able to execute it, and having people around you with a like mind. Like this doesn't happen, especially for me, without my partners, because they were entrepreneurs and I got to see it firsthand. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would agree with them on that.
Okay.
Yeah. I say discipline. Discipline's a big one. I know how it feels. Like when you come from nothing and then you start to make money, it's so hard to like say no to that nice car, that nice house, because you haven't had anything for so long, and then you start making money, but you have to be disciplined. Like you said, assets over liabilities. That's our slogan. If you could just be disciplined and say, wait until I can get this money coming in to pay for this, that's gonna allow you to continue your growth. You don't have to be one of those stories that, I had all this money and now I don't have anything. So the most important thing is financial discipline.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
I believe too. I ain't gonna lie. I'm frugal. I do not like spending money.
That's a good thing. I'm not.
You just said you was learning something. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up in a second, but I have one question. It's one last question before I wrap everything up. What is the first thing someone should do, needs to do, if they want to be an entrepreneur? Like, what is the first thing you have to do?
The first thing that you have to do is understand that the work ethic is something that is never going to stop. It's never going to go away. Some people are born with a high level of work ethic, but you can learn work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that the vast majority of the people have or fully appreciate. And that's why most people are not going to be successful entrepreneurs, amongst other things. So understand that you have to do things that most people are not willing to do, right? Like you might not work a 9 to 5, but you might work a 9 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's really no days off, right? So mentally preparing yourself to be uncomfortable. You're not going to get paid every single week. Your pay is going to fluctuate. You're not going to have set hours. You're going to miss your kids' basketball games. You're going to be traveling a lot. You're going to have to do things that are uncomfortable, like cold calling people and selling things and different things. A lot of people are just speaking in front of people, going to networking events, going different things. You're going to have to understand that you have to deal with failure from the world, but from other people as well. People that you are actually counting on are going to disappoint you on an ongoing basis, right? So how do you deal with that? There's so many mental aspects. I think there actually should be like a whole mental training course for entrepreneurs, because nobody prepares you for that. It's like you just jump out in the world and you just figure it out as you go. But if you're not mentally prepared for this, like you could literally like have a nervous breakdown. Like everybody talks about the good side of entrepreneurship, but they don't talk about all of the stuff that you have to go through mentally and still be able to wake up every day and get the job done no matter what. So I think that every single person that is exploring being an entrepreneur should first have like a mental boot camp to really see if this is for them or not, and then go out into the world and actually do it in real life. But definitely just prepare yourself mentally, because it's not easy and it's going to be a lot of difficult days. InvestFest tickets are on sale now.
Yes.
You can go to investfest.com to get your tickets. And if you want to be a vendor, so we have 450 some odd, maybe even more vendor booths. That's a dope part. We didn't talk about that too much, but that's a dope part for any entrepreneur to get in front of thousands of people over the course of 3 days, highlight your business, sell your products, make some money, network. So if you want to be a vendor, right now we have a wait list for vendors. We haven't opened that up yet, but we will shortly. Okay. So you can go to investfest.com as well and get on the wait list to be a vendor. It's from August 23rd to August 25th in Atlanta, Georgia, GWCC, Georgia World Congress Center. And we'll be having a lot more information soon.
I'm excited. Okay, drop your social media handles before we wrap up.
EarnYourLeisure.com. That's the most important thing that I'll say. Investfestival.com. That's where all the information, that's where everything is going.
That's all you need to go to.
You can find me there.
And EYL University. You got to put that one in there too.
Okay.
Education is important.
But thank you for having us.
Yeah,
we appreciate you. And definitely if you're in town, definitely come. InvestFest is crazy. Like you're going to see billionaires, you're going to see music moguls, you're going to see, but everything is done. Everybody's there just networking with each other, building, figuring out how to make money.
Tell them how.
You might meet your business partner. You might meet somebody that you want to buy real estate with. It's a very dope incubator to be around, especially in Atlanta, where it's the mecca of black business. So I encourage anybody to come. And if you want to come, then definitely just let us know.
I'm
gonna be there.
You're coming.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, it's already done.
Every day.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about over 50,000 people throughout the course of 3 days. That's very unique, and it's not a sporting event, and it's not a musical event. It's something that can actually enrich people's lives.
I'm trying to make some money.
And you're gonna make some money. I said you can meet your next business partner. You can meet your next investor. You can meet your next venture capitalist. It's all in one. So like we like to say that it's where commerce and culture come together, and it definitely is that.
And there's relationships that made this. People meet their wives there. People meet their husbands there. So you never know.
These things are all possible.
If you're looking for that's the big conversation on social media.
All of it.
High value.
If
you're looking for a high value man, if you're looking for a boss lady, that's where they at.
That's where they at. I mean, it's this Atlanta. So that's all you got to say for real. They gonna pull up. But no, you
got to come to InvestFest and be intentional. Right, be intentional. Whether you trying to meet your next business partner or your boo,
Right.
Come with the intentions and make sure you're dripping responsibly.
Okay.
Very important.
The
Drink
boss-
responsibly,
boss
please.
babe
Don't be out here
Vanderbilts.
being crazy. Well, I appreciate you guys. This was very insightful.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. So it's Jojo Alonzo from 105 3 The Beat in the Dunkin Lounge, and we out.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.